Hi Pisces, welcome to your weekly forecast for July 4th through the 10th. This is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You might stumble upon this video a few weeks from now, a few months from now, even though I'm setting the intention for the 7-day period of time. You're going to hear the message whenever you're meant to hear the message. Keep in mind this is a general reading. Not every single message is going to resonate. That's okay. Take what does, leave what doesn't. Without further ado, my dears and my darlings, let's see what's coming up here for the Pisces collective. I feel like we need one more good shuffle. That feels right. That feels right. All right, let's do this. Move you all just a little bit closer. And the first card coming up here, ooh, is the Wheel. Very nice. So, this is Major Arcana. This is a Major Arcana card. When we're dealing with Major Arcana, it's like we're coming into a significant defining time in our life. It's a turning point. We're coming into a new chapter. So even though I'm setting an intention for a 7-day period of time, this is energy that's going to be around for a while. And this is good. This is good energy to have around for a while because the Wheel is about cycles and movement and change. So a lot of the times the Wheel is going to come up when we're getting unstuck, when something is moving forward or it's time to move forward. And so if you've been feeling stuck, then the Wheel is coming up and saying, okay, now we're getting unstuck. Now we're moving forward. The Wheel also comes in with the reminder that things happen in cycles. Things happen in cycles, things happen in stages, and so now you may be coming into a new cycle, into like a new phase, and like moving forward in that phase. And to be in that flow of life and to not work against it. If you can be in the flow, then these transitions are going to happen quickly, they're going to happen smoothly, okay? If you are someone who's really focused on money right now, and you're worried about money, the Wheel card, especially if your income is something that is not exactly predictable, right? Like if you're self-employed or if you're working on an income that's like performance-based, where your paycheck varies depending on how much you sold or how much work there was that week or how many hours they were going to give you. If you're somebody that doesn't have like a set where you can say this is down to the penny how much I'm going to earn every month and your income fluctuates, sometimes the Wheel card or if you're thinking of becoming self-employed, sometimes the Wheel card comes up to remind us in terms of money that there's going to be really busy times and there's going to be really slow times, right? But we can learn from the squirrels. The squirrels go around and they gather the little acorns and they put them in the tree. And then when it comes time to rest and do nothing, right, because it's the cold winter, it's the cold weather, they're happy. They're not freaking out. They're nice and they're cozy and their little home and they have all their little snacks and goodies and they're good. They're living a good old life. So we can learn to work within those cycles. We know there's going to be busy times. We know there's going to be slow times. If we're smart with what's coming in during the busy time, then in the slow time, we're not worried. We're enjoying having that time off. We're enjoying resting. We're enjoying not having much to do. We're not worried about finances. We're not worried about the future because we have, from the busy time, we have our little, acorns in our little tree. So working within the cycles instead of working against them, instead of resenting them. Oh, I hate the slow time. Oh, I hate the slow period. But guess what? We need it. We need it. We can't be go all the time. So learning to embrace different cycles and seeing the benefits in them and working within those cycles, you're going to have smooth and easier transitions. But Pisces, to have the Wheel coming up for you as the first card does tell us you're coming into a time of change and transition, and that this can be a very good, very positive thing for you. The next card that's coming up for Pisces, is the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands is a card that sometimes comes up when we're being encouraged to stand our ground on a situation, but to do it without fighting, and to do it without trying to convince anybody of anything. Okay, just kind of like doing what you're doing, and that's it, right? Just like you just keep doing what you're doing. You don't get pulled into the disagreement, you don't get pulled into the argument. And I've said this before, Seven of Wands oftentimes is somebody, or like the type of people who, like, they might be approaching you about the situation, they want to talk to you about it, but they don't have the intention of coming to an understanding or reaching a common ground, or even trying to understand you and why you're doing what you're doing, or why you're making the decision that you're making. Their whole thing is, you're going to do what I'm telling you to do. You're going to do what I'm telling you to do, and that's it. They're not coming into this with a genuine heart. They're not coming into this open-minded. They need you to do something that's going to benefit them. Right now, you've veered off of the course of what benefits them, and so they're going to do everything that they can to try to hound you, or beat you back down into what is going to benefit them. And so see here how he's at this distance, and they're coming at him with their little wands here from below. You may have people that are trying to antagonize you, that are trying to bait you into coming into this debate or coming into this disagreement. And you don't want to do that, because you're moving forward, you're getting unstuck. If you get tangled up in that energy, they're going to pull you down. They're going to pull you back down. You're going to feel stuck again. You're going to feel tired. You're going to feel like you can't shake this off your back. So it's best not to engage. In this instance, Pisces, this Seven of Wands feels to me like crabs in the bucket. If you put a bunch of crabs in a bucket, you don't have to put anything on top, because the crabs will keep each other in there. As soon as one crab starts climbing out, the other ones will grab its little crab leg and yank it back down. And so see, he's at this top here, and they're going to yank him back down. They may say something offensive. They may upset him. He goes over to the edge. What'd you say about me? What'd you say about my mama? And they're going to take their little staff and they're going to knock him down. They're going to pull him down. And then he's back where he started from again, trying to fight and claw his way back out of it. So don't engage. It's not worth your while. Don't engage. Just keep doing what you're doing and moving forward, and move quietly. That's all. That's all you have to do. Don't get pulled down into the situation. One more thing I want to say about the Seven of Wands, and then we'll move on. Sometimes I see the Seven of Wands come up when, yes, you have somebody who's like antagonizing you, but they're very deliberately doing it because they want you. They want you to lose their cool. This could be in a work situation, family situation. I don't know if you're dealing with like custody issues or something. You could have someone who's like, they're aggravating you. They're just aggravating you, antagonizing you. Like they keep poking and poking and poking and poking and poking until you lose your cool. And then the moment you lose your cool, or you go off, or you say something, they start crying. They start crying, they start falling apart. Oh, I can't believe Pisces said this to me. I can't believe Pisces did that. And they're going around and they're just like playing victim, right? It's like they're trying to get you to hit them, so that when you hit them, they can just, fall down and just be like, oh my God, yeah. And I don't mean like literally hit them, but sometimes, I don't know what your situation is, but they're like, they aggravate you to the point where they're pushing you to something, so then like they can point the finger and say, oh, I told you guys, I told you Pisces was bad, I told you Pisces was unhinged, I told you Pisces was a terrible person. But meanwhile, they're like poking and poking and poking and poking and poking. Remove yourself from the situation. Remove yourself from the situation. Don't put that kind of pressure on yourself, where you're like, you know what, I can handle it, I'm strong, I'll be the mature one, I can just ignore it. Yes, ignore it when you're encountering it, but do whatever you can to put distance between yourself and that person, so that you have as little interaction with them as possible. Because sometimes you might have someone who is trying to aggravate you so that they can paint you in a negative light, or feel like, well, now they have evidence and now they have proof that you're this terrible person. So just be cautious of that. The next card that's coming up here for Pisces is the Nine of Swords. So you may be feeling that. You may be feeling that pressure, Pisces, and now you're in this anxiety. Now you're in this fear. Now you're in this worry, like, what if I never get out of this situation? What if I never get out of here? Here I'm trying to move forward. I have this opposition. I have people planning against me. I have people talking against me. I have people, saying I'm a bad person. I have people that are, bringing up all kinds of things and throwing it in my face. And people think I'm this way and people think I'm that way. And so there's like this fear and there's just anxiety about all of the things that might go wrong. And I feel, Pisces, some of you feel a little downhearted or maybe even crestfallen because you feel like every time you try to get a fresh start or you try to do something good, there's this opposition. There's like, it just doesn't go smoothly. It doesn't go smoothly, or you intended for one way and it's taken another way. You have to understand something. We're in a very, very, very energetically volatile time. And we were born into a volatile time. And right now, in the current time, we're in a time of awakening. We're in a time of ascension. And so there are a lot of energies that don't want this ascension to occur. There are a lot of energies that want us to be in the dark ages that we've been in. And they don't want this new renaissance. They don't want this new light age. And so they're going to do everything that they can to put out the light. They're going to do everything that they can to destroy and to tear apart and to beat down anyone who's bringing about positive change. We've seen it all throughout history. We've seen it all throughout religion, right? What happens to the prophets? It doesn't end well for the prophets. And we're coming into a time now where my belief is, and very hopefully, where we're going to have that new heavens and that new earth, okay? And so we're so close to that change. We're so close to that shift. And so these oppositions that you're experiencing, it's not because you're not a good person. It's not because you're not meant to have good things happen for you. It's because you're a being of light, and that's very scary, and that's very threatening to lower energies and to darker forces. If you weren't so powerful, and if you weren't so capable, you wouldn't have the opposition. They wouldn't be worried about you. In this Nine of Swords energy, some of you have this fear and this worry. That what if it all goes wrong again? What if it all falls apart again? Here I am trying to get this fresh start. What if my past catches up to me? What if I mess up? What if things go wrong? What if there's this obstacle or that obstacle? So the Nine of Swords, a lot of the times it's a negative ego messing with you, but you can use the negative ego to your advantage. And the way that you can say, okay, all right, fair enough. These are possible challenges I might face. These are very possible obstacles I might come across. So let me think about this. How can I prevent that obstacle from happening? Or how can I prevent that situation from going wrong? What are steps that I can take that are in my power that can help me avoid that problem? Okay, that's the first layer of protection. Second layer of protection, what is a good plan B, plan C, plan D that I can have in place, a little safety net, in case my plan to avoid it doesn't work out and it happens anyway? What's a good safety net? What's a good backup plan? That's your second layer of protection. Your third layer of protection is going to be to take this up in prayer. Dear God, dear universe, dear angels, dear guides, whoever you work with, whoever you walk with, here are my fears, here are my worries. This is everything that I'm doing to avoid these fears from happening. If there's anything I'm missing, if there's anything that I haven't thought of, help me to see it, direct me to it, help me to implement it, help me to do it. And if at all possible, if in the best and highest good of all involved, for these fears not to happen, please keep these things from happening. If for some reason they must happen, then please help me get through it and over it as quickly and as painlessly as possible. And you just let it go and you surrender it. That's your third layer of protection. You do the best that you can and you surrender the outcome. And whatever is meant to happen will happen. Whatever is meant to be will be. Another message just came through. Pisces, a lot of you are used to people who have a tendency of making you feel responsible for their happiness. And it's you can't do it. You can never make somebody else happy. You can't. Like, somebody has to make the decision or the choice to be happy. And we can do things to make people happy, like, oh, I know you like this, I know you like that. But if somebody is just absolutely miserable, or somebody is wrestling with some really intense demons, you cannot wrestle those demons for that person. You cannot heal trauma for that person. That person has to make the decision that they're going to do the work. That person has to wake up every single day and choose happiness, just like you have to wake up every day and choose happiness for yourself. And then you can align with people who understand that, and you all can do things for each other to make each other happy. But at the core of it, each person has to decide to be happy and to receive happiness. But you can't be anybody's source. It doesn't work that way. And so I feel like a lot of you Pisces are breaking out of this cycle of like feeling like you have to rescue, or feeling like you have to save, or you have to make everything okay, or you have to, like if somebody's not happy with you, then you've done something wrong, or you've done something bad, or you're a bad person. And you're not. Okay, so I feel like this is something a lot of you Pisces are going to be breaking out of. So thank goodness for that. That's a good thing that you're breaking out of that. Next card coming up here for Pisces is Justice. Now, this can come up in a few different ways. This can be a Libra person, Libra Sun, Libra Moon, Libra Rising, Libra Venus. Could be somebody with a Libra placement. It could be you if you have a Libra placement. There could be big changes or big shifts happening for you in those areas of your life. Now, putting Libra aside, traditionally, the Justice card can be a card about legal issues, something happening in a court of law. The good and positive thing about the Justice card is it tells us that whatever is happening in terms of a legal issue is going to be more likely, often, it's going to be handled in a fair way, in a fair and balanced way. And so Justice card can indicate here that some issue or some matter is going to be resolved peacefully and fairly. Okay? Justice card can also be agreements, contracts. You might be presented with a contract or an offer, something that maybe is legally binding. This could be prenups, contracts for work, or like a independent contract kind of work. But it could be contracts or agreements or things that are legally binding, or legal issues, legal matters being handled in a fair way. Okay? If you do have a legal issue, I'm just going to say right now, Pisces, please don't rush to schedule a private reading with me about that and say, oh my gosh, Amethyst, what's happening with my court case? What's the outcome going to be? I don't read on legal issues, and I'm not a lawyer. I cannot give legal advice. So I don't read on legal stuff, and I'm not gonna read to predict the outcome of a case. But traditionally speaking, the Justice card could be a legal issue being handled fairly. You might want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign. Some weeks your moon sign or rising sign might resonate more than your sun sign. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you click on the link in the description of this video, it will take you to my scheduling page, calendly.com/amethystangelite. You can schedule with me there. Love readings for July are linked in the description. And for those of you who don't know, every single day I post a daily message on the channel that some people have found helpful. So hopefully we'll see you all in the daily messages as well. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I hope you have a fabulous week ahead, Pisces. Take care and be well, my darlings.